What's going on, people, and welcome back to another top 10. And this week we've got my all-time top 10 set piece takers in regards to free kicks. Lots of could have made this list. There's quite a few that I had to leave out. Number 10, Ian Hart. I remember him from Leeds, obviously, with Ireland as well, and then by the end of his career he came to Reading as well, so I got to see him in person at times, scoring free kicks even at that age. Lost a bit of his pace by then, even though he wasn't the most blessed with pace in his younger days, but still offered that set piece danger. Yeah, great free kick taker. For Ireland, he's a bit unfortunate, basically, that he was Irish, because I feel like his talent with free kicks, he should have won a bit more, whether that was with clubs or with his country, because he was that good with as being a specialist with free kicks, in my opinion. So Ian Hart, number 10. Number 9, Gareth Bale. I don't think, obviously, he modelled his free kicks on what Ronaldo was doing with the knuckleball effect, but I actually feel like he got a little bit more accurate than Ronaldo got, but I couldn't put him in front of Ronaldo, spoiler alert. Couldn't put him in front of Ronaldo because Ronaldo created that kind of knuckleball effect, or he's one of the earlier ones to do it. Bale, I think, put his own spin on it, pardon the pun. But I do think Bale probably had a better technique in the end and seemed to get a few more on target and stuff than Ronaldo did. But without Ronaldo doing it, I don't think Bale would have gone on to take his free kicks like that. So Gareth Bale, we know what a talented player he is. He just won his fifth Champions League last night, and he didn't even get on the pitch for his last game for the club. I know it didn't really go, he didn't see eye to eye with the fans there, and he will be leaving now, but quality player, we know what he's capable of and what he can do in open play, let alone from set pieces. So Gareth Bale, number 9. Number 8, I just mentioned him, Cristiano Ronaldo. He seems to score a lot less nowadays than he used to with his free kicks. They're a little bit wilder nowadays, and he doesn't always use the same technique with that knuckleball that he used to all the time. He'll sometimes try and side foot it a little bit. So he doesn't always take free kicks anyway for United anymore. So I don't think he gets as many as he used to. But like I said, that style with the knuckleball, a lot of people have done that since he started doing it. Bale was one of them. So in terms of influence and creating a new skill set, he's got to be on this list. So Cristiano Ronaldo at number 8. Number 7, Thierry Henry. I just remember that free kick. I can't remember if was it against Wigan or someone, and he took it, and then he looked at the camera like, is that good enough? Like, just pure confidence in himself, pure ability, swagger. Another one, just open play and what he could do. Best Premier League player I've ever seen, just in terms of a player. I don't think we've seen anyone better than Henry. And he was capable with set pieces. He scored many free kicks. And probably doesn't really get a lot of recognition for his free kicks, but I think he has to be on the list because I think he was good at them, even though he doesn't really get spoken about. When you think of Henry, you don't think of his free kicks, but he scored enough of them. So for me, he makes the list. Thierry Henry at number 7. Number 6, my favourite ever footballer, and that's Ronaldinho. Another one just in terms of tricks and just a showman on the pitch. I don't think we've seen anything close to him since or before his time. I think he will go down as in his own realm in terms of a showman on the field and a trickster. He was a good footballer nonetheless. The foundations of football, like control and everything, but just the skill and the speed of which he done it at was phenomenal. And his free kick, he kind of did like a little stutter, like they do with penalties now. He kind of did like a 1-2 step, but like really quickly, and he'd like swivel his hips and then hit the free kick. It was really strange to see. Didn't have a long run up with it. It was literally like 2 sort of half steps kind of thing, and then he'd just swing his hips, dip, swerve, curl on the ball, and I saw him score many of them from basically walking up to the ball, 2 big steps, like strides, but not actually running at the ball, and scoring free kicks. Just even free kicks, he would do it, and it just looked like it was automatic. So Ronaldinho, number 6. Pirlo, number 5. A quality player in terms of passing on the ball, dictating play, just cultural, made it look simple, wasn't blessed with pace, but he didn't need to be, he was very clever. But free kicks, in terms of placement, he put it in that top bit between the crossbar and the post that the keepers ain't getting to. And he just had different varieties of free kicks as well. If you look at his clips of free kicks, they're very different, a lot of them. So there's long distance ones, there's closer ones, and they're different techniques of part of the foot he hits it with. They're all different. So Pirlo, number 5, another one that I don't think really gets the recognition he should for his set pieces. Number 4, Roberto Carlos. We all remember that free kick against France where he hit it with the outside of the boot, the long run up that people try to recreate to this day, the sort of the quick knee run, and he hits it, and it's actually going wide of the goal when he hits it, and the swerve and the curl on it brings it back round inside the post. Iconic. If you haven't seen that and you're too young to know about it, go and look it up. Roberto Carlos free kick against France. You won't be disappointed. I don't think I've ever seen a ball move that much in one kick. Do you know what I mean? From a set piece. So unbelievable technique, the power on it, everything about it. So Roberto Carlos, and he did it many times, but that one specifically against France, I think it was called the banana free kick, and you understand why when you go and watch it. So Roberto Carlos at number 4. Number 3, Janino. I'm not on about the Middlesbrough one. I don't know his full name, but the one that played for Lyon, and he played for Brazil also. But I remember him for his time at Lyon in the Champions League. He scored many free kicks. Another one like Pirlo that hit it with different parts of his foot at times. It just sort of, he's like, what does this one need? From a distance, they changed the technique, and a lot of dip and swerve on his as well, but then he could also side foot it, curl it, up and down. Like, he had many varieties to his technique as well. So him and Pirlo having that same kind of category where they can pick and choose what part of the foot and technique they're going to use for different areas of the pitch and distances. But yeah, he scored some unbelievable free kicks, Janino, that from distances that you should have no right scoring from. Nino has to make this list, and I don't think a lot of people remember him, and he doesn't really get spoken about nowadays, but he was in the Lyon team when Benzema was there. So if you look back to them times, you'll see a young Benzema scoring lots of goals, but Janino was probably what that team was built around, to be honest. So Janino, the Brazilian, at number 3. And now getting down to the crunch of it, these were hard to separate because the guy that I've got in second place is a current footballer. A lot of these have retired on my list, but this one is a current one, and I do think he's actually going to break my number 1, and I'll get to hit the number 1 in a minute, but I think he's going to break the number 1's record soon in the Premier League, and that is James Ward-Prowse. Free kicks to him are like penalties to other players. Like, you know, it's automatic when he gets a free kick that he's going to score it. If you gave him 10 free kicks, he's going to score at least 8, if not 9. Every time. The technique on his free kicks I've never seen before, in terms of how he hops from one foot to the other, plants his foot when he takes it, and how his body shape is, his head over the ball. I actually saw a picture of him the other day, just after he's hit a free kick, and he's like, he looks a bit like a quaver. He's curled over, almost like his head's about to touch his stomach. But that's him using his technique that he's crafted and worked on since a very, very young child. And you can tell. And the accuracy and the success rate he's getting from it is no secret. That is unbelievable hours training and practicing that craft, that one skill set. And I do think that he's going to overtake the number 1, who I'm going to talk about in a minute, because I still think he's got enough time, and he's so accurate with them, and the technique he's mastered, that I think that he will be the all-time Premier League free kick scorer. So that is James Ward-Prowse, and he's still going strong, and I expect to see more of it next season. And it's going to be interesting if he goes to the World Cup as well, because even if he's not a great, I mean, he's very capable in an open play game. Like, he get you assists and crosses and stuff, but just in terms of having someone on the pitch for free kicks when you get them, he's your man over everyone, even over people like Trent, I would say. So Ward-Prowse is going to be very interesting to see him next season, and if he goes to the World Cup as well this year. So James Ward-Prowse at number 2, and then at number 1, it might be a bit obvious, but I can't have him anywhere else. He is the legend, he is the icon, he is the Don when it comes to free kicks, and it is David Beckham. He's got the record for Premier League free kicks. Ward-Prowse is closing in on it. I'm just going to get the record up now because I had it ready, because I wanted to just give you the list and how close he is to Ward-Prowse is to getting to Beckham. So Beckham has 18 goals in terms of Premier League free kicks, and Ward-Prowse is on 14. He's going to beat it. He really is Ward-Prowse, and I think he deserves it, even though I've got Beckham at 1. The legend at number 1, David Beckham, set the bar, set the standard for people like Ward-Prowse to chase it down and beat, and just become a better player in themselves doing that as well. David Beckham, we all remember the free kick against Greece to qualify us for the World Cup. We were down and out in that game, and he saved us and brought us into that tournament in a clutch moment where the whole world was watching, not just in the stadium but around the world. That pressure he had to deal with, and he come up trumps with it. Did it countless times for United as well, Madrid, AC Milan, PSG, you name it. He's scored free kicks every club he's been at, and he's a legend for it. Again, he had his own technique. The swerve and curl he would get on a ball was unbelievable. And some of the goals in open play he'd score because of how he hit the ball. He'd curl it over the keepers and stuff, and beat them at angles he shouldn't be able to beat them at from that side of the pitch he was at, with being a right footer. Like, scored some unbelievable goals. We obviously remember the open play goal. I think it was against Wimbledon, from the halfway line, chipped the keeper. I think it was O'Sullivan. Yeah, the free kicks of the guy were unbelievable. I think that even if Ward-Prowse beats it, Beckham will always be my favourite because I grew up at that sort of time. So I have a nostalgia to it and a love for it. But look, unbelievable player, Beckham, as well. I think he's doesn't get enough credit as a captain either. Wasn't the most vocal, but he led by example on the pitch, and I think he should have had longer with England as well. He was clutch for us with England as well. So yeah, that is my list, guys. David Beckham, number 1. It couldn't be anyone else. I hope you enjoyed my list, guys. Let me know who yours would be in the comments as well. I really enjoyed this one. And for the next top 10, I will do what I did with this one in terms of putting it in the community tab. So make sure you check the community tab, because I'm going to put the options in there for you to vote for the next top 10. Yeah, get voting in there to let me know which one you want me to do next. And I'll speak to you guys soon.